Warning! Some viewers may find this podcast
Oh, we don't get to see
repugnant.
it?
Viewers' discretion is advised.
Oh. No, we are live.
Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Soon as we step out the cage, we raising all of the stakes. Make no mistake, either you stay in your place or we putting you on a plate. Look at our face, we put the fear in the dirt. We had to struggle for change, pick up the pace. We put in infinite work, that's why we stay getting paid. Y'all running late, we moving on to the next. You still been stuck in the phase, there's no debate. We draw the line in the sand, we say it straight to your face. They underrate, so we put the team on our back. We took the city to state, what it's gonna take. Another S on our chest, another beat in the grave.
What's up? What's going on, folks? What's going on, Mr. Trigg? What's up, bro? Damn. Hello?
What was that? That was weird.
Oh, yeah.
You heard that,
you
right?
weren't. It sounded like you were muted.
Am
That's
I
why I
muted
went
now?
like this. No. You're good now. Yeah.
All right. Outstanding. How the hell is the world today?
Damn right.
The chaos.
Yeah. Damn.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little triggered right now being 30 days, 30, what are we, 31 days. 31
Damn.
days away from election day.
Damn. 31 days. Yeah. I'm kind of stoked about it.
I am too. I'm nervous and excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I never voted early before, but I'm gonna vote early because I've always been the type of person that go on the day and then just vote in person. Which I'm gonna vote in person by voting early anyway. But because I thought that I'm thinking that this that early voting, you get you get your vote in, but then they have time to mess it up kind of thing, as opposed to doing it on the same day. But I mean, evidently I was wrong. So
yeah, apparently we're gonna have to get it locked in early, and we can early vote here in Colorado. And I think our ballots will be here within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
So sometime mid-October, we should have our ballots. We can fill them out and go drop them off. I'm probably going to be that asshole that adds a little bit more glue to the envelope. Somehow figuring out a way to give it just a little bit of extra security. Taking pictures of it. I'm going to take a bunch of different measures that don't really put the information out there, but is going to cover it. And that way, if there's ever some sort of discrepancy, and we decide that we're going to take it to an appellate judge here in Colorado, and not saying it's going to happen, but my ballot somehow gets in the hands of it, then I can say, yeah, this is the watermark I put on there. I didn't do any destruction or defacing to my ballot, but it's just a little bit of extra security that I added for my own peace of mind. And here's the pictures of it. Just something that I thought about, 2 years ago during the midterms. And I was in Georgia at the time when that took place. I was watching Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker square off, and those were some embarrassing commercials on both sides. But that's the thing of the past. We need to focus on the here and now and what we got going on in the future.
Yeah, dang right, man. That's it. It's ladies and gentlemen, welcome. The topics are election rules change and skew polling and illegals removed. Yeah, we
hundreds of millions of illegal voter rolls gone.
Yeah.
Was it North Carolina? Over 740,000 illegal voters were removed from the rolls.
Wow, really?
That's crazy. That was like a week or two ago. Just they cut them out. And same with Arizona, 1 million. Nevada was like 500,000. It's so I'm optimistic, but I'm nervous at the same time.
Right.
But like I've been telling people for this entire year, we've been witnessing the steal with the lawfare and everything they've been doing to Trump because they know they cannot steal it like they did in 2020 because we're watching them and they know we're watching them. So I tell people that all the time because I want them to have a little bit of solace and a little bit of relaxation going into this thing. They know we're watching them, and we're not going to take our eyes off of them. And so that's why they were trying to steal it all summer long. So show up and vote, guys. You gotta show up and vote. If you don't, you can't talk about it, and you can't celebrate it. Either way, if you don't vote, you have to stay silent. If Kamala Harris wins because you didn't vote, you cannot complain about it for the next 4 to 8 years. If Donald Trump wins and you didn't vote, you don't get to celebrate and say, "We did it, guys. We did it." You didn't do it. You sat on the sidelines and watched us do it. You watched us take the hits. We're the ones out here bleeding. We got the mud in our nose and our ears. We're down in the trenches. Get down here with us. We need you. Come on, let's go.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. I do agree with that at some point, but and basically what you said about voting, there's a lot of I mean, damn. See, here I go losing my fucking track of my. Damn it, I hate it. Okay, anyway, whatever. All right. Yeah, it's always happening with me. I'm pulling the damn Joe Biden, Kamala Harris here.
Well, if it makes you feel better, it happened to me for a long time too. When I first started taking anti-seizure medication, I would forget what I was doing while I was doing it. So,
damn,
it took a while to get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think they're gonna up my dosage because I've been having them a lot more often lately. So that's
oh shit, dude.
Yeah, that's been a good time. But hey, you know what? I got insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not cheap, but I've got insurance.
Yeah, that's crazy though, right? It's like insurance is. Anyway, that's another.
And there's
topic.
certain things they won't cover. Like I have to do MRIs once a year, and when I signed up for this copay for everything, like certain things, like $100, $25 for visits. If I go to the doctor's office, just to get a random check, it's $25. Okay, right on. They schedule me an MRI, $700 copay. I'm like, damn, guys, son of a gun. We need to change. We need to do something about this. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, speaking of that, it triggered as far as North Carolina goes, as far as voting. Okay. Okay, you know what Hurricane Helene. You think it's gonna affect some voting though? I think it will, to be honest.
It could, especially because I don't believe early voting in North Carolina has even begun. And there's been a lot of delay with getting help out there. FEMA's out of money, and the government's only given those residents $750 each. But we can send $8 billion to the Ukraine and $5 million over to Iran and $5 million over to Israel. But our own American citizens, we get $750 and we have no solution to their problems. The election's coming up. And so no, we're not going to do anything to help you out. And of course, I guess let me put on my tinfoil hat for this one. The storm hit, and the current administration viewed this as an opportune moment. Okay, so they got wiped out. They got devastated by a Category 4 hurricane. 140-mile-an-hour winds. It was moving at 12 miles an hour. It was a slow-moving, widespread storm and did a lot of damage. And now the government's slow walking everything, trying to help those people down there. They're eventually going to do it. It's probably going to take a year, but unless we get the right guy put into office here this November. But they're going to slow walk it, all to interfere with the election. They're like, hey, Mother Nature gave us a little gift right here. We have failed with lawfare. We have failed putting him in jail. We have failed with all of these court hearings, and somehow he's still winning. He's still coming out on top. How this is happening, we don't know. Nature hits. We got to Category 4 hurricane. All right, we're not going to do anything to help them. Oh, you guys can't vote. Sorry, we can't do anything to help you. That's
Yeah.
election interference. We can't get involved in that. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Here, guys. You know what? First and foremost, before we discuss this, our thoughts and prayers go out to all the victims of Hurricane Helene. So
Absolutely. I hope they recover quick.
yeah, no doubt, man. I've been hearing over the internet, and that right now it says 200 bodies are found, but everybody's been talking about like there's actually more, than what they're saying, putting out there. So I mean, I actually believe that more
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
they try to the media try to minimizes everything just to make it seem like, oh, it's not that much. See, blah blah blah.
Yeah, they
Bullcrap.
strangely minimize stuff that is an actual problem, and then they overblow everything that is not that big of a problem. I mean, take C-19 for example, it's an overstimulated flu, and they
Right.
ruined the world over that. And now we've got a hurricane that decimated a corner of the country in 4 states. And oh yeah, it's not a big deal. It's we're gonna let you guys. Well, we'll get it figured out. It's an election year, so it's
Yeah.
not a big deal. You guys can survive.
Yeah. For the audience out there, what we have is Biden holds meeting with FEMA director, and this is what he said. We're not gonna play, maybe, and we're not gonna play the whole. I think it's like 7 minutes, but just listen on what he said if you guys haven't seen it already. But here you go.
From Governor Cooper and FEMA Director Griswold and his staff, and to provide me with a firsthand account of the historic impacts of Hurricane Helene. I want to express condolences to all the families whose loved ones have died or are missing. Matter of fact, it's almost equally as bad missing, not knowing whether or not your brother, sister, husband, wife, son, daughter are alive. And we all know that a lot of us have experienced that, and we understand what you're going through. And to the survivors, I want you to know the administration is going to be there, and we just talked about this until we finish the job. It's going to take a hell of a long time and a serious amount of assets. With federal support, the state has reopened 220 roads, which are going to help responders reach people and get the support they need quickly. Right now, thousands of federal personnel are deployed in your communities, supporting search and rescue, debris removal, power restoration, and getting cell networks back online so folks can connect to their loved ones. We've deployed 30 Starlink receivers, and we're 10 more on the way to Western North Carolina. And FEMA's on the ground supporting the communities and registering people for disaster assistance. And talking to the governor, it's going to take a while, right, Gov? It's going to be a long time. And there are thousands of line workers working around the clock to help get power back up in North Carolina. Additionally, Governor Cooper and I have spoken about my traveling to North Carolina and to survey the damage as soon as I can without taking resources or diverting resources on the ground. And we're going to stay as long as it takes when we get this thing going. But I'm going to North Carolina on Wednesday. It's planned now. We're going to be landing in Raleigh for a briefing with the Emergency Operations Center. And I'll then do an aerial tour of Asheville. It's too much for me in terms of interrupting access to help there to land and to survey the damage other through the air. And then
real quick, Donald Trump went where? Where did he go? During the when he dropped
He
off some
went
supplies.
to I cannot remember the name of this town. Yeah, it was. I want to say it was in Tennessee, but I cannot remember the name of the town But now I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But irregardless, he wasn't on a beach. He was down in the mess.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, speaking of that, let's go back to this because I'm gonna hold on. Give me 1 second, and I'm gonna look at the transcripts because a reporter asked that question because let me see here, blah blah blah. I think it's like at why am I? Oh, Something happened on Twitter. I don't know what happened, but
Yeah, I saw that.
that's weird. It's loading. Anyway, so here we go. I think it's because he said he didn't want to land in North Carolina because he didn't want to take the resources away from the people, which in my opinion is just bullshit.
That makes sense. No, Trump doesn't want to land there. I agree with it. I think he shouldn't take away resources, but that's just my opinion.
Right.
But I think I might sound biased, but I think he's doing a much better job than anybody in our government. He's not even in our government anymore.
Damn, what the hell? Why can't I find it? Blah blah.
They get another beverage.
No, you're good, bro. So anyway, guys, he said something about, the reporter asked, why was he on the beach and not in Washington? He's like, oh, I had enough of that. Like, basically, like, I know where you're going. Stop it. That's not, it's not.
Or did he mean that he has had enough of this whole presidency nonsense since they kicked him out? He's just not going to deal with it, which I can't blame him. If they want to run a coup on him and put Kamala Harris in charge of it, go ahead, be my guest. Kamala Harris can deal with it all. Here, now she's handing out $750 to all the residents who have been impacted by that. That could buy them a 2x4 and a pack of bubble gum.
Yeah. $750. What does that sound like, though? Like what?
Hawaii.
Exactly.
Hawaii. I mean, shit. I didn't even want a stimulus during COVID, and the smallest I got was $1,200. At least Trump gave us more of our money back in the form of a stimulus. Even though I didn't want it, because I knew. I told everybody, like, this is going to inflate prices of everything. Right. And people told me that was crazy. And guess what?
Yeah, but during COVID, like inflating price, like, come on, man. That's crazy though. What, you know what I mean? Because I was when I was buying something, I'm like, what did this price go? Like the Oreo cookies probably, family size used to cost like maybe $250. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But now I'm just saying for an explanation, it went up to like freaking $350 or something. Like, give me a break, like seriously, or $450. So anyway.
Well, okay. How about this? Here's one that I can speak of: a pomegranate, just a little fresh pomegranate. Great for antioxidants, keeps you healthy throughout the wintertime, kicks out any viruses that you might have. I don't think it'll do anything for the HIV or any other gross stuff. But there was a time it was 99 cents for this pomegranate. Now I paid $3.99 the other day for this at Natural Food Grocers, or no, Sprouts. I'm sorry, it was Sprouts. But I paid $4 for this little thing.
Wow.
My aunt used to live in California. She lives here now, and she had a pomegranate tree in her backyard. She would just mail them out for free.
Oh, that's what's up.
Oh yeah. Kind of. I was like, I wish you still lived out there, but I'm glad you're here. And she's like, yeah.
So, hold on, give me. There you go. All right, this is another. I for some random reason, it's whatever. It's he did say that the reporter asked about why the beach, and he's like, he's kind of like irritated by her asking that question. So, so anyway, but this is the one I wanted to hit on too.
All the way up into Tennessee. Okay. And so the idea that we weren't prepared, the question is, no one knew exactly how devastating it would be. We knew it would be significant, and we've got a lot already in place, but there's more. But here's the point. I'm going to be asking the American people to continue to help fund the needs of these people. It's not going to be one hit and it's over. It's going to take a hell of a long time. It's going to cost a hell of a lot of money. But this is the United States of America, and we've got to do it.
But yet the Americans are trying to help. There's talk that FEMA's been holding back the money, and and some of the some of the stuff, and people are trying to get out there and help other people, but they're being turned away and being told that I don't know if you heard about this, Trick, about the pilot who flew with the son in the helicopter, and they went to go.
I did hear about that. He was dropping off supplies to everybody.
That, and he also rescued he tried to rescue a married couple, and he was told by one of the fire marshals to go ahead and turn around, and that if they see him again, mind you, his son was waiting with the husband. Mind you, they were telling him that when he dropped off the wife, and he's like, "I'm not gonna leave my son, bro." Like, basically, I'm not gonna leave my son. You know what I'm saying? You you got to twist it. I'm not gonna leave my son. So anyway, he dropped off some supplies, I believe. He picked up his son and he apologized to the husband. He's like, "Man, I'm sorry, because they're gonna come after, lock me up if I come back with you," basically.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And the latest thing, Pete Buttigieg actually shut down air travel in the area. People were using drones to get supplies into the people, food and water and medical supplies and dry clothes. And Pete Buttigieg shut down. I almost said something terrible. He shut down air travel. So now they get drones in there to get supplies to the people. So now they're deliberately trying to kill these people. They're not only trying to take away their ability to vote, but now they are deliberately trying to kill those people. And maybe it's because it's Trump country. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
It is.
But I wouldn't put past anything these people,
No, I get you. Like, check this out real quick. Since you didn't see it, I want to go ahead and share it with you, and then we'll move on to big and better to other things. So here we go.
Okay.
Stories of survival are now being shared days after Helene wreaked havoc in North Carolina. But one Pageland man's efforts to help are now the source of controversy. He flew his own chopper on his own dime to help stranded victims. But that man says he abandoned his rescue missions after a fire official threatened to have him thrown in jail. Well, that man now wants answers and turned to Queen City News chief investigator Jody Barr to help figure out what went wrong here.
This is the original post that I was reading when I decided to go up and help. It's a long post, but she's saying that her kids and family and animals are trapped. No way out, no supplies, and the only way in or out is accessible by helicopter. Limited cell service and no water since Friday morning. I thought I have a helicopter and maybe I can help.
Jordan Sidham piled food and water into his helicopter Saturday and headed up toward Banner Elk, the only way through a mountain gap in Lake Lure.
This is the mountain valley that you would have to fly to get to Black Mountain, where we were escorting people out. This is a mountain range, and this is a mountain range. The only place to fly through with bad visibility, low cloud coverage, is Lake Lure.
The cries for help from people stranded without food, water, or electricity hit social media soon after the flooding last Friday.
So my parents are stuck there. Their address is Banner Elk. They are in the first condo. If you receive this, please give me a call back. Thank you.
Sidham's phone started lighting up on Saturday with people begging for help.
I mean, I could hear the desperation in her voice. This is multiple phone calls I've received like this, voicemails, text messages, and you could hear people desperate for help.
Sidham and his son rescued 4 people on Saturday and spent the night in a nearby pilot's lounge, then decided to fly again Sunday morning.
I spoke with my son, which is my co-pilot. I said, hey, do you want to go back out and try to help today? And his response was, there's so many messages, I don't think we can't not go help.
Sidham and his son were headed up to Black Mountain. Flight tracking shows no flight restrictions in place Saturday or Sunday morning when Sidham flew through the Lake Lure Gap. But that was all about to change. The Sidham spotted an older couple waving for help, then landed in what's left of their driveway.
Hey, I want you to let me get in. You step out and go out, help her in, put her bag in the back, get her strapped in. I'm going to take her down, come back. I'll take him, I'll come back, and then I'll get you, okay? I originally left my son, co-pilot, on the side of the mountain. It was kind of unstable, so I didn't want to put more weight in the helicopter to lift back off. So I left my son with the other victim, and I was just going to take one person down at the time. And you could hear me in the video talking through with the victims and with my son what we were going to do.
3 minutes away, Sidham spotted a group of rescuers just down the river. He landed and found someone in charge.
Told him my background experience, law enforcement, firefighting, pilot. He immediately started helping with coordination. He gave me radio frequencies to coordinate with them on, set up a landing area for me to come back with the other victim. And in the middle of the whole conversation and then blocking the road off, I was greeted by the, at that time I didn't know, but Lake Lure fire chief or assistant chief maybe, and he shut down the whole operation. So at that point I felt like the conversation wasn't going any further. And again, he asked me to leave, and I said, hey, I have no problem getting out of your area. If that's what you want us to do, we'll leave, no issue. At that point, I asked him, what was the reason I had to leave them there? And he said, again, you're interfering with my operation. I just need you to get out of the area. I said, sir, I don't know where you were trained at, but I know how my training is, and I'm not going to leave personnel behind. I'm going back to get my co-pilot. He said, if you turn around and go back up the mountain, you're going to be arrested. I said, well, sir, I'm going back to get my co-pilot. I don't know what to tell you. And he said, I'm letting you know. And at that point, he waved for 2 law enforcement officers to come over and told me that again, if I go back up the mountain, I would be arrested.
He flew the 3-minute trip back, picked up his son, and left the woman's husband behind.
Sure, he was flooded with emotions and trying to rescue other people, and I just felt that it was best at the time to leave. So I did follow his instructions, and I had a conversation with the female victim before I left, apologized and explained, and she was standing there. She heard the whole conversation, and they were both very, very surprised, very upset. The husband, as I was leaving off of the side of the mountain, at that point, separated from his wife, he was upset. I can only imagine.
Sidham and his nearly 1,400 flight hours turned his chopper around and headed back to South Carolina, passing people waving for help along the way.
Wow. As I was actually leaving to go back to get my son, the original chief or captain that I spoke to, his crew and himself, they came back over and said, hey, man, we can't tell you to go get the victim. We can't even ask you to go get the victim, but we can tell you if you come back with the victim, we'll have you a designated landing spot, and they won't. We'll make sure they don't come over here.
So there was no flight restriction when you went in?
No flight restriction when I went in. It went in place 20 or 30 minutes after the confrontation with Mr.
You feel like that was coincidental, or do you think that was because of what happened?
I don't think it can be coincidental when there has not been one in place the day before doing rescue operations, the night of, the morning of, that took place after our altercation. I think there would have never been a TFR put in place had we not had that conversation. If I had to do it over again, I would have stopped and I would have rescued as many people until they decided they were going to arrest me.
Well, for now, we've chosen not to name that Lake Lure fire official because communications in and out of that town are still difficult.
Dude, it was a 3-minute helicopter ride from, you know what I mean? They couldn't have, you know what I mean? Like, what a freaking dick, bro. What a dick.
Yeah, absolutely. What is he interfering with? Did that fire chief had other helicopters in the area doing search and rescue missions? Did they have the military in the area doing search and rescue missions? Did they have police in the area doing search and rescue missions from the air?
Right.
Was there 100 helicopters? Because from the sounds of it, it was not another helicopter in the air except for that one man who was doing his duty as just rescuing his neighbors.
Exactly.
And the people who needed it. Oh man, that's infuriating, man. That's
very.
And it almost makes you wonder that he knew that there was a flight restriction coming down the pike, but it had not released yet. And in that 3-minute period of
Yeah.
that pilot being gone, going to pick up his son, when he got back,
Mm.
they realized in that 3-minute period, they realized that they had their information wrong. There was no flight restriction yet, and they got ahead of themselves.
Right.
And to keep themselves from getting in trouble, they basically, it's like they told him, I can't tell you to go. We're not going to ask you to go. But if you go and you get him, you can land right there and we're not going to bother you.
Mhm.
That's basically him saying, hey, I screwed up. Please do not turn me in and have my job taken from me. And I hope that fire chief loses his job very soon.
Same. I definitely agree, man. And then the screwed up thing about it is that I wish there was an update if the husband got rescued and was able to he was able to reunite with his wife. Then
Yeah, I
you know
did
what I
not
mean?
remember hearing him say whether or not he went and got the guy.
Yeah.
So I would hope he
No.
did. I would hope he
Yeah.
did. If he saw an opening, I hope he took it and went to get him.
Right. Meanwhile, we get like Trigger was saying, we give billions. What was it like?
$8
Two,
billion
two.
to Ukraine, $5 billion to Israel, $5 billion to Iran. We're funding both sides of those wars.
Yeah.
But we can give our residents here in America who are American citizens $750. You lost everything, so here's $750. Good luck.
Check this out. This is what I found real quick on the. This is U.S. Department of State, U.S. security cooperation with Ukraine, and it says United States, our allies, and our partners worldwide are united in supporting Ukraine in response to Russia's premeditated, unprovoked, and unjustified war against Ukraine. We have not forgotten, blah, blah, blah. And here to go. To date, we have provided more than $61.3 billion in military assistance since Russia launched its premeditated and unprovoked, like I said earlier, of Ukraine on February 24th of 2022, and approximately $64.1 billion in military assistance since Russia invasion of Ukraine in 2014.
Wow.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Wow.
and this is all the air defense that they got here. Blah blah. I'm just like, this is what pisses me off here. But continue to vote, whatever the case is, with your freaking feelings.
Uh-huh.
And just keep it up, guys. You're doing a good job. Meanwhile, this is what this administration is freaking doing right now. Look at all this military equipment. Like, seriously, like, wow.
Uh-huh.
But just let's take away our guns. Let's take the citizens of America. Let's do that. Why we
Uh-huh.
basically. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised Putin hasn't attacked us yet, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's
Because
coming. It's
we're
coming.
aiding.
He's going to wait until after our election. Yeah. He's waiting until after our election to see what's going to happen. Is he going to have to deal with a bull in a china shop,
Mm-hmm.
or is he going to deal with a little frightened little girl?
Right.
If Trump gets elected, everybody's going to straighten their shit up right now. I can promise you that. A lot of people don't understand that. There was a time I said, this is Reagan 2.0, because when Reagan took office, it being held by Iran, the day that Reagan took office, he told Iran, you let those 11 hostages go, or I'm going to remove you from the globe.
Mm-hmm.
They took him serious and they sent those hostages home. Now, those hostages, it's a different story. They got themselves into some hot water. They deserve to be put in jail. But Iran was using them as a, they were
bargaining chip kind of thing.
Yeah, I can't think of the word. They were pretty much extorting Jimmy Carter by using those hostages, and they were getting money for their nuclear program. But yeah, it's But Reagan told him, you let him go or your country will no longer exist. And to me, although, he kept his word, he didn't remove him from the planet because he, but,
Mhm.
we probably wouldn't have the problems we have in the world if Reagan would have went, you know what, they're going to do it again. So let's just take them off the globe anyway. So,
Yeah.
but that's just my opinion on the matter. And my opinion doesn't have to matter.
Right. And guys out there, audience, this is commentary. This is our opinions. We don't,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? We're not, I could be, I'm speaking for myself. I could be wrong on things that I say, but I mean, it's my opinion here. And, Trig has
Yeah.
his, it's like they said, it's like opinions, it's like, opinions, everybody has one, you know what I'm saying? So,
Some of them stink.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Oh,
and
yes.
it's
bro. I was trying. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're good. But we're giving our opinion. We're not giving our truth. We will look up
Right.
factual evidence and then give our opinion on that factual evidence.
Yep.
But we will never tell you this is our truth. This is our opinion. You're not entitled to your truth. You're entitled to your opinion based off of the truth. So,
Right. Correct. Exactly.
that's what we do.
Yes. There you go.
Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people love it, hate it. Either way, you're looking at our faces. So, hi.
Exactly. Welcome. Yas, Queen. Yas.
Don't ever do that again.
No. Okay. All right.
I kid. You can do what you want.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. No, seriously. I was like, sometimes I just like, I get out of character. Here we go. Here we go.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's several. Okay, here we go, guys. Several states are making late changes to election rules, even as voting is set to begin.
Mm-hmm.
This is from the AP. This is what Trigger sent me. Actually, this is because I was like, man, what can we talk about? And he's like, let's talk about this, and this. I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. Right before election time. Yes, sir.
I think it's the best time to talk about it.
That is yep, it is.
Let's not talk about it after.
Yep. Good call. That was a good call, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Says, okay, here it says in Georgia, election workers will have to hand count the number of ballots cast after voting is completed. North Carolina, some students and university staff can use their digital IDs to vote. That I disagree with. And I'll tell you why. Because digital ID is, I mean, school, okay, say for instance, the school over here, these schools over here now in high school, they have like this it looks like a photo, it like has the student's name and their picture, and that's in their barcode, and that's it. They show that just to get in school or whatever the case is, and stuff like that. And also the digital ID doesn't have their date of birth, it doesn't have their signature, it doesn't have nothing, so nothing to verify that they are an American citizen. Also,
that reminds me of the CBP1 app that JD Vance was speaking about in the debate this past Tuesday. Now, somebody decided that they were going to download the app and they were going to go through and they were going to create a profile. He used a picture of Carlos Mencia and called himself Jesus Garcia. Had no date of birth, had no other identification. Said that he was going to some city in California and he wanted to meet at Eagle Pass. And they set him up a time to be at Eagle Pass. So, could that be a digital ID as well? Once they have him set up, here's a digital ID. You can use that to vote. places like California and New York are going to allow something like, and even Colorado. So disappointed to say that, but in Colorado, the same thing's going to happen. But fear not, ladies and gentlemen, fear not. I think that Trump is right, as he usually is the majority of the time. It's going to be too big to rig. They can't get it done. Even with 25 million illegals in the country as of right now, and there may be more, there could be 30 million illegals in the country, but that doesn't account for the millions. And I don't know how many, it could be 50, 60, 70 million people have walked away from the Democrat Party. That's Black voters, Latino voters, and even the white Democrats are going, hey, this is not what we voted for. And Kamala Harris said it herself, voting or elections have consequences. Well, we're paying the consequences right now, and we can't afford to pay for this for another 48 years. So, Kamala, you're fired. And
Yeah.
so I honestly believe that it's going to be too big to rig. So that's just another avenue of digital ID that I wanted to go down. Continue.
Yeah, and you see here, this is like a sample of what it looks like, guys, and it's just, it has his what he's going to school for. This is an example, and it says
Yes.
whatever the case, and that's a problem. Yeah, his student ID, you know what I'm saying, but also too, it got me thinking. The Free Palestine, blah blah blah.
Yep.
That's another thing. How people from other schools or other states were coming over to that university and saying blah blah blah. So and it just seems like anybody can come in here and it says try it free here, the cases, and print out a state university card. That's my opinion.
And that is not a state issued ID. That does not
Correct.
prove that you are an American citizen. That just shows
Correct.
that you are a student of a university.
Correct.
Congratulations. It is
Right.
very difficult to become a student at any university. Anybody
Right.
who has ever applied for college can tell you that. But a lot of people are just giving it to them because of the way our politicians are running the government, which is that they're running our schools. But I guess I should rephrase that. I guess it's not that hard to get into any university these days. I mean, I've heard the way people talk, and they say that they've gone to Harvard, and they sound like they just graduated the 9th grade. But that's just my opinion on the matter. So no, I don't. I digital ID. That's a bad thing, and that one got through the cracks on us. That's something that we'll have to focus on in the next 2 years. And pray every day that Trump wins this thing. You got to pray every day that Trump wins this thing, because if he doesn't, a lot of people are pushing the panic button with this election. Like, this is the most important election of our lifetime. Well, I remember in 2008, this was the most important election of our lifetime. 2012, this is the most important election of our lifetime. 2016, it was important. It's going to be important every year, because depending on how the country is going, when we have an election that year, we're going to continue or we're going to shift course, and we're going to make things better. So it's always, keep that in the back of your head. It is always going to be the most important election of our lifetime. But this one, I truly believe, is really one of the most important elections of our lifetime, because the way we're going with the Biden administration, Kamala Harris is just going to continue these policies. The Build Back Better, which is building nothing and nothing's better. We are in a terrible rut right now.
Right.
Government may have taken away a lot of our freedoms from COVID and then gave it back, but we are still wrecked from 2020. And a lot of people try to put the blame on Trump, but Trump could not go into each state and say, open up, because of the 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. The 10th Amendment, states' rights. President and the federal government cannot go into the state and say, this is how you need to run your state. It's against the law. Couldn't do that. So Trump was stuck not being able to do that. Trump was trying to essentially save the country that he was elected to represent from a overstimulated flu virus. And at every turn, he could not win. So I don't blame Trump for anything that happened during COVID. He tried to shut down international travel to try and stop it, but it was already too late. At that point, it was already too late, and it spread like wildfire. But it was just the flu. I had it. I knew people who had it. Now, I also know people who died from it, but they had underlying conditions, which is something that we all spoke about.
Right.
But they don't want to talk about that. So, yeah, COVID made a mess. And then the Biden administration continued that mess by signing, I think it was 27 executive orders on day one, which absolutely decimated the economy, all because of the Green New Deal, the Green New Scam. That's all that was. So, yeah,
Don't get me
if you
started
want
on
to
that.
continue but if you want to continue the messes from 2020, from the past 4 years, then vote for Kamala Harris. Vote for Tim Walz to be your vice president. Vote Democrat down the ticket and watch this country end. You think you're having a hard time now? You think any politician is going to take away your rights? Put Kamala Harris into office. I dare you.
It says here too. And I clicked on the link that led to the North Carolina deal there, talking about the school. It says here, I'm gonna touch brief on that because we're gonna have to move real quick. So it says the Democratic National Committee and a UNC Chapel Hill student group joined the board in court to oppose the restraining order because they had a restraining order. Guys, North Carolina judge won't prevent use of universal digital ID for voting. So it apparently got it. I believe it got overturned or something like that. So it says they said the board rightly determined that the digital ID met the security and photo requirements set in state law in which to qualify, which I don't see how. But it says in legal briefs they also said there was nothing in the law that prevented their approval of a non-physical card. The DNC attorneys wrote that preventing its use could confuse or even disenfranchise up to 40,000 people who worked or attend the school. That I found laughable. That I confused. I mean, these teenagers slash men or adults, young adults, they have their IDs. You know what I mean? So it's like
But and that's
funny.
something that I would like to look into, because when a college student goes out of state, when a kid goes out of state to go to attend a college, a university, say somebody from the University of Georgia or Georgia Tech is from Colorado, California, Utah, Arizona, Nevada, pick a state. They're not an in-state student. They're an out-of-state student. I thought that they were still technically a resident of the state that they are from, so they should be a registered voter from Colorado, from Utah, from Nevada, from California. They are not a resident of Georgia, although they go to school there and they live there and they reside there. They are not technically a resident there. I could be wrong. I don't know. I would love to. It's probably something I should look into. Definitely not something I've had on my radar until you brought up digital ID. So thank God you brought that up. And that's something that I'm definitely going to look into. And viewers, if you guys know anything about that, please chime in, throw in a comment. I would love to hear what you guys know about this. Even if you take the time to look it up, I welcome it.
Unfortunately, to my to the show analytics, you're gonna laugh your butt off. People our age plus listen to the show, and there's very little 18 through 24, even though I restricted and I put adults only kind of thing. What 18 to 24
there's no
consider
Gen Z.
adults? Yeah,
so
exactly.
there's no Zoomers in here. Okay, you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
Yeah.
that, because the Boomers and the Gen X's and the or what's the generation before that? They can all say, hey, you know what? Let me tell you about this. Watch these guys. You might enjoy them. You get some entertainment out of it.
Yeah.
They might have some inappropriate jokes for you, but you got to keep it light because politics will wear you out and make you tired, and we got to have fun. It's like, my
You have
boy Alex Jones, he came up with fentanyl, the lovable communist Chinese dragon. It's the funniest thing. The first time I
Mhm.
heard it, I laughed my ass off.
Mhm.
Because he was talking for 90 minutes about all of the atrocities going on with COVID and politics and the attacks on Trump and the attacks on the American people and our rights. He introduced this dragon, and I laughed my ass off. I probably laughed 20 minutes the first time I heard of fentanyl, the communist Chinese dragon.
Oh, you're gonna flip out this real quick, Trigger. Okay, I
Yeah.
went to, and also going back to the digital ID. I'm gonna close it with this as far as that goes, and we'll go to something else. It says on the Dallas College, there's a Dallas College, whatever. I don't know if it's community college or whatever, but this is their website. It states here who is eligible to receive an identification card. Students enrolled in and attending Dallas College and full-time and part-time employees of Dallas College are eligible for an ID card. Volunteers, contractors, vendors, and visitors are not currently eligible for an ID card. Hold on, give me 1 second. The ID card, blah blah blah, personal status. No, I saw something in here that said that it's not to be used as a. Gosh damn it! Hold on. You will need to present a valid government issue ID or 2 alternate forms of identification. One of which must be photo identification. If you are a student, you must also present your paid tuition full receipt. What do I need for whatever? But oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna have to send that to you because it basically said something about this isn't. Hold on. Okay, right here it says what will okay. The ID card is not considered a legal form of identification, and isn't parts of Texas. I don't know if Dallas is considered a Democratic, city.
Okay, so I know a lot of people in Texas,
Hmm.
a lot of people in Austin, a lot of people in Dallas, a lot of people in El Paso. Um, these are the cities where you see a lot of purple. You don't see, it being majority blue or majority red. It's half and half. It's mixed. But you got a purple city like Dallas, like
Mm.
Austin.
Okay.
But a lot of people will say that Austin, Texas is moving towards the blue category. It's a big city, much like Denver. Denver and Boulder counties are the people who are picking our elections here in Colorado. Pueblo and Colorado Springs, El Paso, public counties, and all of the rural counties are not the ones who are picking our elections, and that's why we still have a lot of staunch conservative representatives like Lauren Boebert.
Hmm.
We have the Tim Tig, um, who lives here. Tig lives here. Uh, those of you who are familiar with Tig, he was involved in the Benghazi, in the 13 hours, the Benghazi attack
Oh, really?
on September 11th, 2012. Yep, and he ran
Wow.
for office here. He did not get the traction that he needed in 2022, which was the
Mm.
midterm. But it's understandable because he was running for such a high platform. Um, the lady that I was helping with her election campaign, Danielle Neuschwinger, I was trying to get her endorsed by Trump. And I think if Trump would have saw her and saw what she stood for, he would have endorsed her. And I honestly believe that if we didn't have the cheating and the scandals that go on in Colorado, and if it wasn't for Denver and Boulder County,
Mm.
Danielle Neuschwinger would be governor of Colorado, and I wouldn't have to go to the ATM and pull cash out just so I could buy accessories for any of my guns, including a cleaning kit. But it's just like any state. A lot of people are saying that California is red. It's not
Hmm.
blue, but you've got the cities like LA, San Francisco, Oakland. Those 3 cities alone are picking the elections for that entire state. The rest of the state is red. There are Trump caravans every single weekend. My aunt sends them to me. She sends me videos of this. I told her I want a better, longer video. I want some commentary. But she doesn't do the whole video thing, which I understand, and it's cool. But California's red. California's not purple, it's not blue, but those cities are blue. Much like Texas, those cities are blue, so it makes it look purple. It's deceptive, is what it is. Texas is red, California is red, Colorado is red, but because of those cities, they look blue.
Yeah, but that, and if once I know each state is different, and I know each state has their own constitution, but that should actually apply to every freaking everybody there as far as the digital IDs go, as far as college students go.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's not me, because somebody could lose their dang ID. Let's say somebody can lose that, and okay, blah blah blah. If somebody else not paying attention, oh yeah, go ahead and scan it, and then they can vote.
And that's not an issued ID, because there's a lot of the foreign student exchange program. I don't know if that's still a thing. I would imagine that it is, but you have a foreign student coming here to study at the University of Texas Tech, or they're at MIT because they're a computer genius. They make Elon Musk look like me. So you have these foreign exchange students coming over. They're this idea, and all of a sudden they're telling you, hey, you know what, you can use that. Why don't you go vote? You're living here for the next 3 years, go vote. And that's another way of cheating it. That's another way of cheating the system. What do we do to stop that? And are they actually accepting it?
Right.
The digital ID, is that only happening in cities? Is that only happening in Atlanta or in Dallas? But again, going back, getting off of the doom and gloom, I honestly believe that Trump has flipped it so much, and so many Democrats have walked away from that plantation that it is literally too big to rig. I am going to stand on that, and I'm going to believe in that.
It says across the country, including in some of the nation's presidential swing states, new or recent altered state laws are changing how Americans will vote, tally ballots, and administer and certify November's election. Which, hold on, Georgia, they actually, it says, just real quick, Georgia State Election Board approves rule requiring hand count of ballots. So apparently I'm glad you brought this up earlier, when we were talking backstage. Well, yeah, actually a couple of days ago. And I was like, the county that I live in, I voted for somebody who wanted to get rid of the machines, the ballot machines and hand count. But the other guy was like, it would take too long, and we don't have that many resources, etc. Blah blah blah, making excuses. But I actually, look at, sometimes you don't need to reinvent the tire. You know what I mean? Like, it's been going this long for you know what I'm saying? On these
think about it. I wish I would have looked this up. I thought I was going to remember, but it was either France or Italy. There was a recent election, and it was all hand-counted ballots. It was all done in 9 hours, not 9 days.
Correct.
They had it done in 1 day, and they elected their leader. They elected their representatives. And they didn't use machines, and nobody's contesting it. That's the greatest part. Nobody's contesting it. Nobody's saying, well, the Russians got interfered with it, or Greece interfered with it. No, that didn't happen because they hand counted it, and it was verified. It's not that hard to do. If you get some people who actually care about their country and want to work hard, we can hand count these ballots in 1 day.
Yeah.
A 15-hour day. Let's go. Let's do it. I do that now. Let's do a 15-hour day of hand counting counting ballots. I cannot talk right now. I'm so sorry. But if we were to hand count every single ballot, and Kamala Harris won, and every Democrat across the board won, I would not complain. I would know for a fact that we had a free and fair election. The only thing
Yep.
that we would have to do is fight against their policies that they're going to pass, because that is where it's going to get dangerous. We
Right.
hand count ballots. And I'm willing to bet the Democrats would do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The logically thinking Democrats, the leftists, the unhinged liberals,
Mm-hmm.
they won't do that. And you know, I say that there is a difference between a leftist and a liberal. And a liberal, along with a conservative, they have an enemy in common, and that is the leftist, because the liberal for the longest time has always been about freedom of speech, freedom of rights, freedom of voting, freedom of everything. You can say what you want. I am not going to stop you because you have a First Amendment right. I may not like it. It's going to hurt my feelings, but you can say it. And of course, the conservative, like somebody like me, because I'm such an unhinged asshole, I'm going to say, fuck your feelings. You look retarded with your blue hair.
Yeah.
And they would say, you know what? You're entitled to your opinion. A leftist is probably going to shoot me from 150 yards because I said that he looks ridiculous with his blue hair, and I'm not going to refer to him by his chosen pronouns.
Yeah, and the top of your ear will be missing. So, or if that, you know, just
yeah. Just remember,
You missed.
unhinged leftists, I shoot back and I hit my targets, and you miss. I don't
Dang
miss.
right. Yeah.
I've got an 1.25 inch MOA at 1,100 yards. Don't mess with me, guys.
Yeah. So you know, basically, there's something I read, but there's Georgia's like basically saying that you know it may just take all day and blah blah, and that's what they're fighting against. I don't know if they got yeah, go check it out, guys. I can't remember this whole thing because I was reading through this whole thing and I yesterday, and I was like, I think instead of 14, they want 10 days to count everything and blah blah blah. You know,
Yeah.
so you know, they're
Yeah,
arguing
it's
basically it's gonna take too long, blah blah blah. You know, so anyway,
It's an election season. It's no longer election day.
which
And that's frustrating.
which the Constitution states that we're supposed to, you know, it's we're supposed to know the next day or the same day.
Same
If
day
I
or
could be
next,
wrong.
at least 24 hours.
Yeah.
I would say within 24 hours, and that's something to look up. I've never, in all my time of reading the Constitution, of which I do a lot, I haven't found that particular spot, but doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
But yeah, we
that's one thing
definitely
that-
need to move away from this extended counting, and it has everything to do with the machines.
Yeah.
Machines are unreliable. They break down. Trust me, I work on heavy equipment every day. It's a machine. It's going to break. And it always breaks at the most inopportune moment. And somebody like me has to roll up his sleeves, get in there and get dirty and get sweaty and get it fixed. The same thing is going to happen with these voting machines. It's going to break. It's unreliable. It's going to become disconnected from the internet, of which it shouldn't even be connected to the internet, but it is. And we're watching it happen. We have to continue to watch it get purged. We have to purge it, much like all these voter rolls that have been taking place down in Georgia, in Arizona, North Carolina. North Carolina recently just purged 740,000 illegal voters from the voting rolls. That is a good thing, and that has got the Democrats terrified, ladies and gentlemen. They are terrified of that. And that's probably why they are not getting the help to North Carolina after this destructive storm, Hurricane Ellen. We've got to fight back against the establishment.
Yeah, we do.
You know,
and
so we'll get there.
Yeah, we will.
I believe in us. I believe in the American people.
Yeah. It can be challenged to keep where I can blah blah can be challenged to keep track. The 11th hour changes, especially since state election process already very so widely. Even more changes are looming in some states with election day on November 5th. Now, just weeks away, several states already have started sending out ballots, and some states voters have begun casting ballots in person. So, yeah.
Wisconsin, one of them, which is a very important state. That is a
Mhm.
toss-up state for this election. A lot of people say that Trump won Wisconsin in 2020. A lot of people say Trump won Michigan in 2020. So Wisconsin and Michigan, those are two very important states, and they have begun voting. Last week, they began early voting. Now, the recent polls, which I witnessed being reported on Real America's Voice,
Mhm.
was that the Democrat mail-in voting returns are down by like 35%, while Republicans are up by 19%, if I recall correctly. Those are huge, substantial numbers, especially this early in the game. Are Democrats not returning their ballots with a Democrat vote? Are the Democrats returning Democrat ballots with Republican votes?
True.
Or,
You know what?
a Trump vote?
There's a theory that you know what, you reminded me of something because I just found this out today. I don't know if you know of this, but there's a theory that's called the Wilder theory. Have you heard of that before?
I have heard of it, but I have not looked into it.
It's basically saying that a person, or I'm sorry, they go racial because obviously this dude, gosh dang it, I had it here and now it's gone. Well, get my own stupid. Yeah, look it up, guys. It's
It's
called
okay.
my
The
own
Wilder
stupidity.
theory.
Yeah, it's called the Wilder theory.
The
So hold on.
Wilder theory.
Yeah. It's weird because it's so fitting for today, that these
Yeah.
times, because obviously there was a black guy who was running in California. If I could summarize it correctly. Shit. Damn it.
The
Anyway,
Wilder method is an innovative approach to therapy that begins with a deep understanding of human nature.
no, it reads, there's something else that I came across, and it's gonna bug the heck out of me now.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's something to look into
Yeah.
and perhaps do a show on it.
Yeah, because basically, if I could summarize it correctly, it was a black guy who was running against congressman or whatever, was running against a white guy. So the theory is that white voters would say that they're voting for. They wouldn't say they're voting for the white guy, but they're voting for the non-white, the black guy, or the non-white person, or whatever the case is. So you know what I'm saying. So basically, not telling you who they're voting for without, you know what I'm saying? Without just not giving it away, kind of thing. Just like something that you
Yeah.
just stated.
Okay.
You
So
know,
it's, yeah.
dude, that's gonna
No,
bug the heck
I
out
get
of
what
me.
you're saying. And yeah, I suppose I get what you're saying. But yeah, that's my theory with it is Donald Trump has flipped so many Democrats. They've gone from the Democrat plantation and they're over here on the Trump train. They're not Republicans. They're not voting Republican. They're voting for Trump. Which chances are it's the down ballot, which I believe, in my opinion, is the more important part of the election, and that's the House and the Senate. But they're voting for Trump as president, and then they're voting
Right.
for their Democrat representatives in the House and in the Senate. Just because, and they're only doing that based off of the social programs alone. Abortion, taking away the guns from the people. That's what they want to happen, but they don't want Kamala Harris in office. So they're going to vote for Trump. They're going to hold their nose and they're going to vote for Trump. And that's the same with the Never Trumpers, the Never Trumper Republicans. They're doing the exact same thing. And They're going to cast a vote for Donald Trump, but they're not going to fill out the rest of the ballot. And that's the most infuriating thing. And I know that's happening because when I was down in Georgia for the election, for the runoff election, they were interviewing people when they were casting their ballots. And the reporter asked one voter, he goes, "Who did you vote for?" He goes, "I voted for everybody, but I did not vote for the Senate race. I did not vote for Raphael Warnock, and I did not vote for Herschel Walker." So that is a thing. That does happen. People will vote, a couple of things on the ballot, and then they leave the rest of it alone. And then they turn around and they go, "What happened? How come we're being screwed over?" That's why you're being screwed over, because you're not actually taking the time to vote. I understand that this is irritating and you don't want either one of them, but you need to pick one of them. And that's how you get stuck with runoff races. Now, if everybody in Georgia who voted Republican down the ticket, but did not vote for Herschel Walker, but also did not vote for Raphael Warnock, would have put that check mark by Herschel Walker's name, would we still be facing a lot of the problems that we're having, or would it be less severe? I don't know. I can't say. We'll never be able to say. I would like to say it would be a less severe, but I believe that is what's going on all around the country. A lot of people are casting their vote for a couple of candidates that they like. They're voting for a couple of issues that they like or dislike, and then they're leaving the rest of it blank. And that, in my opinion, is a very dangerous move that we can do as Americans.
It is.
We need to vote that entire ballot. We need to study that ballot. And if there is, and this is going to the never Trumpers. I understand completely. You don't like Donald Trump. He says things that can really infuriate somebody. I do that too, but a lot of people still love me and a lot of people still come around me, even though they know I'm going to say something that's going to be completely off the wall and they're going to go, "Where did that come from?" Well, I'm the walking trigger warning, baby. This is where it came from. But
he's
they
old
have
school
to
though. He's old school.
He's
That
old school.
you know
He
what I'm
is old
saying? I
school. He's
mean,
going to say what's on his mind.
yeah,
He's
exactly. And
old
then
school New Yorker.
and that's the thing though, is that people don't understand. I work with the old several old guys, and they're like, and I'm laughing because that's it's what they do. It's
Yeah.
they get under your skin. It's expected, but these people
Yeah,
are just like so
exactly.
soft.
One of my best friends that I grew up with, he's from New York. His entire family's from New York, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens. And some of them, I look at him going, "What do you mean call you if I ever need what are you talking about?" But that's a different story for another day. Anybody who
Yeah.
knows New York knows what I'm talking about. But this guy, I sitting there having a conversation with him. It's Christmas Eve. It's the time to be jolly and happy. And these dudes are old school New York. And I swear to God, I felt like I was right in the middle of Queens. They just, the shit that comes out of their mouth, how they talk, that's just who they are. And people don't understand that Donald Trump is from New York.
Yeah.
He was a strong businessman from New York. So he's going to say the shit that he wants to say. It's like the joke that he made. What's the difference between a raccoon and Donald Trump's hair? A raccoon doesn't have $7 billion fucking dollars in the bank, but Donald Trump does. And that was a joke that
Yeah.
he threw out there. Great joke. That is the definition of a New Yorker. That's how they are. They are unhinged, unpolished. They say what they want, when they want, how they want, and you are going to take it because there's nothing you can do about it. And that's the same with Donald Trump. He's going to say the things that are going to piss you off. Just because he says things that piss you off doesn't mean that you should not vote for the man's policies, because that man's policies kept us safe. There were no wars. There were no conflicts. We had low gas prices. We had low grocery prices. We had very good wages.
Mhm.
Now my wages are still pretty good, but my taxes are murdering me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw your post though, man. That's
Yeah, man.
crazy. I feel you
I had
though.
2 hours. I had 2 hours of overtime on last week's paycheck. I had 8 hours of overtime on this week's paycheck, and it was only $140 more because I got raped that much with taxes.
Mhm.
I don't know about you. I don't want to pay taxes on that 8 hours of overtime, because that's $500 that I could have had in my pocket tax free that I could have put back into my local economy. That
Okay.
money would have went into my local economy.
I have a
Sorry, I'm ranting.
No, it's fine. I have a stupid question though.
No such thing.
Okay, yeah, my man. I feel like Denzel Washington without saying that word. But anyway, yeah, I was no because my stupid question to you is that okay, if there's no taxes on no tax on overtime, then where's the tax? Where's okay? I know the money, but damn it, what like how
Revenue
are they going to
streams.
get more taxes? Like how do you know what I'm saying? How is the government going to
How are they?
sort of
How's the government going to benefit from it?
correct? Yes, yeah,
Well, fuck
basically.
the
Thank you.
government. Fuck the
Yep.
government. They don't need to benefit shit from what
Right.
we're doing, the hard work that we're putting into it. But here's the deal. Okay, so basically, what that is, you got no tax on overtime.
Mhm.
What that is for the employer is a free raise to the employees because that employer, yes, he has to pay that overhead, but that is much more production that employer gets. So now he's making more. Okay. Now he doesn't have to pay out the income taxes that he would have to pay to match that employee. Okay. So that
Okay.
employer doesn't have to pay out income taxes because each employer has to match the income tax. So let's say my taxes this week on my paycheck were literally $600. Okay.
Mhm.
My employer had to match that and pay $600. So for 1 week of my employment, the the government got $1,200 by not doing shit, literally not doing
Right.
shit except for watching me get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go work, to sweat my ass off so that my knuckles can get bloody and my hands get dirty. And they just sit back and go, oh, well, we'll take that $1,200 from you and your employer. Thank you so much. And that goes on
Right.
every single week. Now, say that overtime no longer gets taxed. After 40 hours, you are no longer being taxed. That is a free raise. That is more production for the employer. That is a win-win situation. Now,
Oh,
what
I
we
see.
do is, as the people who made that money, I put an additional $500 in my pocket for 1 week of work. Now, I'm going to take that money and I'm going to spend it over here and I'm going to spend it over there. I'm going to spend it over here. I'm also paying sales tax. Okay.
Right.
Now,
Oh,
when
I see what you're
people
saying. Okay.
exactly.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Eventually, it's going to make its way back to the government. It's just
Correct.
not going to be up front. It's
Right.
going to stimulate the economy itself because people are going to have more money in their pocket. Some people are going to be frugal. Some
Mhm.
people are going to go want to go buy, you know,
100
lavish things.
TVs and
My
shit.
lavish things happen to be brass and lead, but that's a different story for another day.
Damn right,
Um,
brother.
you know what I'm
2A
saying?
part 2.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, okay, so I've got a date tonight, taking this girl out. I could have had an extra $500 in my pocket. Could have taken her to this place called Cowboy Star, this restaurant that is literally, you take a date there, you count on spending $200. You're not under $200 for one night with one person in that
Right.
restaurant. Okay. I could be stimulating the local economy. Everybody who is working overtime gets to stimulate the local economy. Eventually, it's going to stimulate the federal economy. It is going to boost the American economy by doing just that.
So yeah, I get what you're saying now.
Mhm.
Okay, now I get it because I'm like because I don't like I said I don't know everything. I'm just I have a lot of questions and I will
Sure.
research too. But also
Mhm.
I kind of like I want to get different perspective because of I'm like well if the government, blah, blah, blah. But then again, yeah, my mind is saying the same thing you just said earlier. Fuck the government. Yeah, of course they don't.
Mhm.
They're getting all this other money on on sales taxes and stuff like that. They don't need to get it on overtime. Which I see where you're coming from, and I actually, okay, all right.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
It
Because
is a
I'm like,
win-win situation. And it's the same with the no tax on tips.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's the
Mhm.
same situation with no tax on tips. Um, now, this is because I've worked in an industry. I worked in a bar. I worked in a nightclub, and a lot of people would take their tips and put it up their nose. That's
Right.
just the nature of the beast in that particular part of the business. Okay. And a lot of them tried to keep it secret from me. I don't know why they acted like I was Big Brother or something. I was like, I don't care what you do with your life. It's none of my business. Just don't have it around me. And I don't want to get in trouble because of your stupidity. Okay.
Right.
But that is not the majority of people who work on tips. Okay. There's a lot of people who work on tips who make an honest living, who actually pay their bills and they put it into the economy. Now,
Right.
by the end of the year, okay, because some of them, like I said, some of them are done with their money. They don't have anything at the end of the year when it comes time to pay Uncle Sam back on those taxes. Okay. Um, but sometimes who put that money in, they've got it and they can pay for it. So basically, no tax on tips. You're still stimulating the economy from the bottom all the way to the top. Okay.
Right.
The federal government and the state government are not getting those income taxes, but they're still getting it in the form of sales taxes. Some people are buying houses, so they're getting homeowners taxes, that sort of
Right.
stuff. It's still stimulating the economy.
And it's
Okay.
a
And now
win-win
at the end
because
of the year,
yeah.
exactly. And now you're not putting some waiter or waitress in jail for tax evasion because they didn't
Right.
have the money to pay for it.
Yep.
Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. I made a crap ton of mistakes in my youth.
We
Okay,
all
but I
have.
know better now. I know so much better now. Thank God. The best lessons are the hard ones, the ones that leave black eyes and a broken nose.
Yeah.
And I hope that the last 4 years left black eyes and broken noses, and everybody learned their lesson and went, "Hey, you know what? We're sorry, Donald Trump. Please come back to the office.
Yeah.
Please fix our country. We need you to fix our country more than ever." And
Mhm.
I think it's happening. I honestly do believe that that is happening. Um, somebody that I listen to every single day, Alex Jones, he made me feel so good yesterday. Or not yesterday, the day before, Wednesday. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I got godsmacked. We are winning this thing." And that totally relaxed me. So, that's why I listen to Alex, man. He makes, he'll dig the knife in and twist it a little bit, but he's doing it to get your attention. That's what we do. We dig the
Yeah.
knife in, twist it. We want to get your attention. And then we're going to tell you the good parts. Ladies and gentlemen, we're winning. Donald Trump is going to be president. And let's hope that we vote Republican down the ticket. That way he has the power to do everything that he says he's going to do. We do it. We get the security of our country back. We get our economy up and rolling again, and life is good, at least for 4 years.
Yeah. So here we go. Swing states election boards engage in legal battles. This is why I can see people actually kind of like, that doesn't give
Mhm.
you a reason why not to vote, guys. Just because, see, and that's the thing with the polls. That it doesn't. That's a part of our topic that says skewing polls. I don't let the polls dictate because on I mean, yeah, my feelings do go like, oh damn, Kamala, but I'm like, how is Kamala leading by freaking 3.3%? Like, are you kidding me? Like, you know what I mean?
And it's
Like,
so cute.
are you
It's so
serious?
cute that they do that. It's so cute that they do that because they know that the real polls are showing that Donald Trump is winning. But
Correct.
that 3 points, that's within the margin of error, as the media loves to tell. It's within the margin of error. So this could go either way. Okay, cool. Let's keep it going either way. It's going to be a tight race, which encourages the people to get up and go out and get that vote cast. Okay. But
Yeah.
if you look at real polls, you look at real numbers, Donald Trump is spanking Kamala Harris, of which he wouldn't really do. That's just an expression. We don't we don't need another E. Jean Carroll moment, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
exactly.
But um, uh, Donald Trump is mopping the floor with Kamala Harris. JD Vance is mopping the floor with Tim Walz. The
Mhm.
Republicans are mopping the floor with the Democrats. We are
Yeah,
going to take this thing back. We are going to get our country back.
I sure
She,
hope so.
they
I
brought us
sure
to
hope
our
so.
knees. They brought us to our knees, but we're back to one knee, and we're going to stand up here real soon, and it's going to be game over. And I promise you, the next 4 years, Donald Trump gets into office, and we're going to see all the good things that he's doing. Republicans are getting into office, and we're going to see all the good things that they're doing. And I can promise you this, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to see a turn of events. The people are going to stay awake, not woke. They're going to stay awake. and they're going to witness all the good things going on, and they're going to go, you know what? They were right. We were right to put Donald Trump and the Republicans in office. We're going to keep it going in the midterms. We're going to keep it going in 2028. We don't know who the next going to have another MAGA candidate. Hell, it might even be J.D. Vance himself taking over the reins, because he has shown that he is MAGA. And he has shown that he did not agree with Donald Trump when at the beginning of his political career. You don't have to agree with any politician on every issue.
Or anybody for that matter.
That's
I
not being
agree. Exactly.
exactly. That's not being an American. Being an
No.
American is having a difference of opinion, a difference of value. But we all come together and we all want the same thing. We want to live peacefully. We want to be able to go to work and know that our bills are going to be paid, and that we don't have to choose between buying aspirin or milk.
Exactly. And whether, you know what I'm saying? Like, also too, you can people can, we can go back to the nuclear family, which these people and the establishment has been trying to destroy. And let's why should anybody for that matter, father or mother
And
or parents, work two jobs? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
it's
Exactly.
you see what I'm saying? So it's,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, let's get back to that. That when he said make America great again, it's not bring back slavery, you freaking idiots, or anything
Exactly.
else of that matter. Let's get real. Like stop being stupid. That's
Exactly.
this is
And
what pisses
and
me off
and that
with these
goes back
fucking
to the point
asshats.
of calling America a democracy. America's not a democracy.
No.
America is a representative republic. If America was a democracy, and all those white people that were in Congress and in the Senate and in the White House decided that they wanted to reenact slavery, they could have easily done it with a simple vote. Hey, did we want to put blacks back in slavery? Yes. Any no's? There's one or two. They're black. Oh, well, hey, guess what, guys? You guys are going back into slavery. I'm so sorry.
or Carmela would say, with the swipe of my pen.
With a swipe of the pen, I can wrap them up in litigation and bankrupt them. Like, oh, yeah, I would love to have a president like that. Wrap me up in litigation. Let's go. No.
Yeah.
We're going to put the guy they keep trying to kill back in office. Because if he wasn't so dangerous to the globalist world order, they wouldn't be trying to kill him. Three times. They tried to shoot him twice, and it was either a chemical attack or a direct energy weapons attack.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Nobody has said anything about it. But we know that there was a third attack in Arizona.
I still have to look into that though, because I just been slacking off, to be honest with you, about stuff. That's why I've been like ghosting sometimes, because
Sure.
it's just it gets overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? So I just need a break real quick. But anyway, I haven't even got to that yet, and I'm like, oh wow, you know what I'm saying? Because I know people have been seeing. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's definitely something to look into.
It is.
The people who were complaining about, who went to the ER and they were complaining about their vision problems, said it was like they had been swimming in a pool with chlorine all day long and their eyes were bleached. That's what it felt like to them. Other people are saying that it was a direct energy weapon attack. I don't know. Obviously, they didn't have the volume up high enough. Still alive. There was no casualties, thank God. The shooters, thank God they sucked. Which, the story of that first shooter doesn't make any damn bit of sense.
No, it doesn't.
How can you say that he spent every single day at a shooting range and spent thousands of dollars on ammunition and missed by that much?
Yeah.
That definitely was an act of God. God was standing with Trump, or at least an angel was standing with Trump and went, turn your head, and saved his life. Okay. And then that sniper from the police department, who was not a counter sniper from the Secret Service, he worked for the police station, for the Pennsylvania police station. He saw him. He had him in his sights for 3 minutes. They kept telling him to stand down. Finally, he he had no choice. He had to shoot, and then he lost his job the next day. That's somebody who needs to be on every news media channel telling the story, but we're never going to hear that story 100%
Right.
because the New World Order, the globalists, they fear Donald Trump because he's going to get in there and he's going to take everything away from them. And you think Donald Trump got a lot done in his first 4 years? You wait till he goes back in an office. The people of America are going to be happy, be safe. They're going to have plenty of money in the bank, and the New World Order globalist pieces of shit are going to prison.
Yeah. Amen to that. Yeah. That's that. I wouldn't even. You know what? They don't even need to be going to prison. I would venture to
They public
say,
gangs.
yeah, exactly. Televised
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
Televised.
Well, okay, so the punishment for treason is that you are hanged by the
Correct.
neck until dead, and then
Yep.
you're left in the town square
Yep.
for a week for people
Mhm.
to view your body.
Yep.
We're going to hang you. It's going to be on television. It's going to be on the internet. It's going to be streamed live. And then we're going to leave them there for a week.
Yep.
We don't care about anybody's feelings. We don't care if it makes you sick. The sight of death makes you sick. Ask a soldier how he feels about the sight of death. He's had to endure it and see it to protect your way of life. So that's what's going to happen. And when it's proven of everything that these people have done, I truly believe that it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, you're going to be thankful to see that body hanging there.
Yep. Exactly. And it's real quick too. Arizona Secretary of State grants unique voter registration URL to pro-illegal alien groups that work with Kamala Harris campaign manager and don't think illegals need to show ID. So this is off of Laura Loomer's X account, guys. And it says the deadline to register to vote is October 7th, 2024. And basically, see, Adrian Fontaines created the URL program, which allows nonprofit organizations the ability to electronically register voters within the state of Arizona. Nonprofits are legally not supposed to express partisan views in their activities, which are tax deductible.
Of which they do constantly.
Yep. However, many of these organizations are highly partisan, radical extremist groups that Adrian Fontaines has empowered with unique URL pages to register voters. So, hold on, give me 1 second. Chicanos por la Cruzas, CPLC, is an Arizona unique URL program participant. This radical pro evasion and pro illegal alien group has access to the White House via Julie Chavez Rodriguez, a senior advisor to President Biden, former state director of Senator Kamala Harris since 2016, and now the current campaign manager for the Walz Harris presidential campaign. In a screenshot below, CPLC brags about how Julie Chavez, like Julio Chavez, that's your ring. I don't know. It's just Julie Chavez Rodriguez met with them at the White House in April 2023. So she got connections.
She does, but it's not going to work.
Yeah,
because I'm going to keep telling people this all the time. At every we flipped enough Democrats that it is literally too big to rig. And there's a lot of people who are scared to vote, but they're still going to go and do it anyway because they have to try, and they know they have to try, so they're going to try.
Yeah,
but even if it's 20 million illegals, it's not enough. They don't have enough. It's too big to rig. Trump is going to be president.
Yeah. And yeah, let's hope so, man. I really hope so. I'm kind of like in between. So I'm not too optimistic, as I mean, But I'm kind of like, that's not going to stop me from voting, but you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's just, I'm hoping, because I've been hearing like the establishment's getting desperate to the point where I'm hearing like
They are.
electrical grid attacks before the election or during the
Well,
election.
the Verizon outage this week was a clear indication that was a test run. Okay. It could happen on November 5th. It could happen before November 5th. And they could say, we don't know how to get this back up. But here's the thing. If you're connected to Wi-Fi anywhere, your phone's still going to work. Apple users have Wi-Fi calling. Okay, you're still able to use the internet. We're going to be they don't have they're kind of just like pulling shit out of their ass right now and throwing it at the wall, seeing what sticks. They can't do it. They cannot do it. They do not have the capability of rigging this thing. It's not going to happen. Trump is going to win. I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, we have all been godsmacked. I know that it's frustrating. It's tiring. You're sick of hearing it. I'm sick of hearing it. I want this next 30 days to fly by. And, I'll even celebrate Halloween with you guys if this month will go by fast. Let's go. Donald Trump is going to win this thing. I promise you that. We're all tired of it, though. We want this year to end. We want the last 4 years to end. We want this administration done. It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's going to happen. Just have faith in God. Show up and vote.
The thing about it is too is that I don't think we should wait. Like it should be changed to where it's like a new year. Like as soon as after like freaking New Year's Day is over, January 2nd should be the inauguration day instead of the 20th.
I agree.
Because a lot can happen between then.
I agree 100% because between what is that? I mean, we're looking at 60 days between the election and the inauguration. Let's say Trump wins. What are they going to do in that 60 days? That is the frightening part.
Correct.
Because they're still in office. They still have the power to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the frightening part. That's the part that we should be focused on.
Yeah.
That's the part that could be the scariest part. At that point, after the election, if Donald Trump wins, I would highly suggest that he find a spot and lay low.
Yeah.
He can tweet and he can do his X posts and he can do his truth posts and he can do videos to prove to the world, hey, I'm all right. I'm here. I'm just waiting for the time to shine. Inauguration day. Let's not do it on the steps of the Capitol. Let's go inside. We have to do everything in our power to secure Donald Trump from the day he gets elected to the day he gets inaugurated and then some, because they're not going to stop. They are not going to stop. Their whole way of life is at a threat. But here's a message to the leftist, the New World Order, and the globalists. You're all the same pieces of shit.
Yep.
If Donald Trump wins election on November 5th, 2024, and you fuck with him, you are going to piss off every Trump supporter. And trust me, we don't miss. So don't mess around.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was telling my wife when his failed assassination attempt, I almost started crying, but it was more like a pissed off. You know what I mean? Like it was just a pissed off crying. Exactly, because I was mad, bro. I was like getting so pissed off, and I'm like, "Are you serious? Like we're really?"
Yeah,
And I was just and it's like what you just actually just said there. Actually, what you just said.
Oh yeah, that's not me talking tough. That's me giving you a warning. I won't be standing alone on something like this.
Nope.
America is going to take a fight to the New World Order and globalists. You might get a lot of us, but the lot of us There's a lot more of us than there are of you, and we are going to get you. So don't screw around, New World Order.
Yeah. They're testing our nuts every day. Every
Yes, they are.
flipping day.
And I tell you what, mine are getting up into my gut, and I'm gonna.
But
oh man,
yeah, with
makes
these
me feel
illegal.
young again.
Oh yeah, right. And then it says with the illegals voting here, it says Republicans. Okay, this is what the Guardian. Okay, and this is what we're gonna go into. Republicans non-citizen voting myth. The Guardian says it's a myth. Set stage to claim stolen election because they feel like the Republicans. If Harris wins, that the Republicans are gonna say again, this is a stolen election. Okay, peep this real quick. 40-year-old plumber born in Montgomery, Alabama, has no idea why he got a letter from Alabama's top election officials telling him he was potentially ineligible to vote. He was born in the United States, in the U.S., yet the letter said he was suspected of being a non-citizen and he would have to prove his citizenship to vote. His statement was, "I've been racking my brain to try to figure out how I ended up on the list of purged voters, but I have no clue." Konzad said in a court filing in September, which you can click on this link and it'll take you to the filing, court filing. He was one of the 3,200 voters the Secretary of State asked to prove their citizenship, part of a wave of actions amid heated rhetoric among Republicans over the idea that non-citizens could be voting in large numbers in U.S. elections, a theory that runs counter to data. Okay. And it says here, also going down, Trump and other Republicans are already using the false idea that non-citizens could vote in widespread numbers when they say non-citizen, guys, they're talking about illegal immigrants.
Yes.
Or undocumented, but we're going to go with illegal because we don't coat shit around here in LOD podcast.
Exactly.
And it's already they're saying that we're already setting the narrative. Says Trump says our elections are bad. Trump said during the September 10th debate, and a lot of these illegal immigrants coming in, they're trying to get them to vote. They can't even speak English. They don't even know what country they're in practically. And these people are trying to get them to vote, and that's why they're allowing them to come into our country.
This happened back in 2013 here in Colorado. Illegals were given driver's licenses because they said, this is how the government put it, we're going to give them driver's licenses so that they can get insurance. That way, when they get into an accident, because they don't know the rules of the road in America, you'll be able to they'll have insurance so that your car can get paid for. They didn't buy insurance, and we told them, no, you're not going to do that because we know that you're going to register them to vote. The government, politicians came back and said, no. They're going to be limited licenses. We promise. 3 months later, we got a report from the government, from the DMV, that said, hey, we messed up. We gave them actual driver's licenses and they were registered to vote. We're trying to get them all to come back and bring us back their driver's licenses. And we're like, we told you this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. And now Colorado is a sanctuary state. And we have been blue ever since. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm not saying that, let's be real about it. Mexicans are not our problems. It's the Guatemalans that are our problems. It's the people coming from other countries that are our problems.
Right.
We got Guatemalans in Aurora fucking shit up. People have since swept it under the rug and haven't been talking about it all that much because the city of Aurora and Denver decided, oh, we better do something about this because Trump showed up and went, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah,
this is legit.
It says illegal immigrants. What the fuck? Illegal aliens living in Phoenix, Arizona apartment complex admit being registered to vote. Check this out real quick, guys. And it says here, non-citizens. If this is such a this is a group called Oversight Project, and which I'm gonna follow them now because if you see this video real quick, I'm gonna they went to this is when they went to Arizona. Then they're oh no.
Right now. And do you plan to vote this year? Yes. Who do you prefer right now? Kamala or Trump? Or Trump? No, Kamala. Have you been registered? Yes. Are you a citizen or not?
Surprise, surprise.
Would you vote for Kamala? Well, yeah.
Arizona has recently become the center of election integrity concerns. It was the most closely contested state during the 2020 presidential election, decided by a margin of less than 11,000 votes. The razor-thin margin of victory in 2020 led to intense scrutiny of election integrity measures in the state. The primary concern is that non-citizens could be registering to vote and participating in American elections. However, the mainstream media continues to minimize the issue. The Washington Post said that the issue of non-citizens voting was dishonest. Rolling Stone claimed that the issue was non-existent, and NPR assured its audience that the issue is a myth. The stakes in the 2024 presidential election could not be higher. So, we went to Arizona to investigate the matter ourselves. At the Los Vecinos apartment complex in Phoenix, Arizona, we asked residents if they were registered to vote and if they were citizens. The responses we obtained destroy the narrative that non-citizens participating in United States elections is a conspiracy theory.
Hola, señora, ¿cómo está? Somos una organización, ahorita estamos ayudando a la comunidad hispana aquí del área de Phoenix, dándoles información para la gente que igual quieren registrarse para votar aquí en las elecciones en noviembre. Nomás de pura curiosidad, ¿está usted registrada para votar?
Ya nos registramos.
Ah, ok. Sí. ¿La registraron aquí o en el trabajo?
En el trabajo.
En el trabajo. Okay. ¿Usted es ciudadana?
No.
¿Usted ya lo registraron?
Había una aplicación que me dijo que, bueno, fue en la ayuda en la ayuda que nos dan a nosotros los hispanos cuando venimos aquí.
Oh.
Yo puse que sí, que llegué a votar, pero bueno, no sé si quiero registrarme ahí.
O sea, usted puso que sí.
Sí, yo puse que sí, me dije, ahí me sale una aplicación que si quería votar y yo puse que sí.
¿Y usted es ciudadano?
No, estoy esperando la residencia todavía.
¿Está esperando la residencia? Ok. ¿Y usted planea votar este año?
Sí.
Y usted, la última pregunta es...
So I'm going to rewind it.
¿A quién le gusta a usted ahorita?
Guys, real quick, but I'm going to rewind it because I'm going to trip out because they 6 people in this apartment complex here, they said they would vote for Kamala. They all vote for Kamala Harris, but this dude, let's listen to what this dude says real quick. They also went to Georgia too and did the same thing, and they all said 14% of them in that apartment complex in Georgia, I guess it's called the Cross, said that they would vote for Kamala because of. And why are you not playing? Damn it! Because you guys are trying to stop me from playing it. Always,
Technical
dude.
difficulties.
Always with this flipping crap. Yeah, but let's once again let's ship it. But anyway, y'all go check that out. I'm wasting too much time on this, but because they're just being assholes, the damn internet. So we're just gonna go ahead and clip that one out. But yeah, go ahead and go through that. He said basically he that Trump is a businessman and Kamala is not a businesswoman. He would vote for he's voting for Kamala, but what the hell, they're all corrupt anyway, basically. And he feels like Trump will get it done, but he's like basically he's still voting for Kamala. That's almost the same people in our country that I talk to that say the same fucking thing. I'm just gonna vote blue no matter who, kind of thing. Not, you know what I mean? Like not because of the policies, but because
because they're lazy. They're lazy to look into the actual facts. I had somebody actually tell me, when I was speaking about Trump saying no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, and then she goes, "Well, both parties are saying that." I said, "Yeah, but Trump introduced it first, and Kamala decided to jump on the bandwagon." And all I got was LOL. Okay. So you don't do. Hey, you know what? I could have railroaded this chick, but I didn't. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let you live in your stupidity because it probably feels really good to you. Your focus is on drugs. My focus is on fucking politics every day. Trust
Hey,
me, I'm gonna own your fat ass. But I did that and I let it go. Which is something that I call that personal growth because the old me, I'd have fucked her up. But
okay, but explain railroading because that can be taken out of some kind of context.
I
What do you
I
think
would
about
have
it?
gathered every piece of information that shows
There you go.
that Trump introduced it first, and then I would have smacked the shit out of her with it. Watch her jiggle a little bit. Oh my god, that's incredibly violent. That's not me. I'm not
Yeah,
violent. I'm
no,
a nice
no,
guy.
it's not.
I'm a good guy.
Yep.
But I don't believe all women. Anyway.
Anyway, okay, let's go, guys. But it's not it's true because we said it and also said it on the podcast too when we were talking about voting as well because we were talking about voting too. Where it's like we believe that these illegal immigrants are coming over to flood our polling deals. It just what makes sense. It was like kind of like almost like a prediction at first, but now now we're starting to see it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, but anyway, it's just we said it here too. So hey, yo, smash that like, comment, and subscribe button, and we are gonna end the show with that. And we are. Give me 1 second. You know what's coming, Trigger. You know what's coming, bro.
Oh yeah.
I picked a short one here. Here you go. So let's share this real quick and
Let's lighten
hey,
it up a little bit.
yeah. Also, did you really mean you had a date going on?
I do.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. We gotta hurry up, guys. Trigger's got a date, man.
I gotta put on some deodorant before I go.
Oh. Here we go.
And think to yourself,
Oh no.
damn, I fucked up.
Hold on.
Do you ever look at your other person and think to yourself, damn, I fucked up?
What?
Oh, that poor girl. She
Damn.
could make keys with them teeth.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, really can't judge that much because what if she's like one of those people that actually have like the dentures, and then she gets all dressed up and she's like, oh,
That's
you
true.
know what I mean?
That's very true. There was one.
Yeah.
There was that one lady that had no teeth, looked like she'd been strung out for a month. Then she put in
Right.
her teeth straight, like did her hair, put on her makeup, and Maxim wanted to put her on the cover.
Wow.
Crazy. Crazy.
It is. You want to plug in your social, Bruba?
You can find me on X, Triggered You in 22. You can find me over on TikTok, which is Forever the Trigger. You can find me over on YouTube, which is just the walking trigger warning. It used to be Trigger Warning TV until I got taken down with 250,000 subscribers. Those were great days, man. But that's where you can find me. And I'm going to crank up the heat in this last 30 days. I'm going to crank it up. People are going to get real mad. They're either going to see the light or they're going to want to set me on fire.
And guys, you know where to find me. So, I'm sort of everywhere now. But anyway, besides that, stay tuned for the next episode. I'm gonna try to get with you, Trigger, on a topic that's controversial, and we're gonna piss people off, and hopefully it's before November 5th. Yeah,
I would love that one. I got so many ideas on that one.
I'm gonna go with. Sorry, what I'm gonna discuss with you is reproductive rights.
Sure, we can do that, and we can throw in the fact that there are no chicks with dicks, only dudes with tits and mental issues.
Yep, and
mental ticks. I gotta add that into the mix. There is no chicks with dicks, only dudes with tits and mental ticks.
All right, guys. Hey, guys, we had hey, guys, go ahead and you know what you should have done. Just comment, like, and share, subscribe to this channel. Hey, man, we're growing, and we want to see you guys in the next podcast episode. So until then, guys, deuces. Okay, what the, bruh? You don't want me to go, man.
Self-production.
What the heck is this? What the heck?